Hey everyone, Leanne here from Kingdom Bloggers. So today I want to share with you my upcoming Black Friday sale. Now, normally, as you all know, I do not actually do a lot of promotion of my courses. They tend to sell themselves. Plus, I don't want to be that pushy like salesperson. And I know right now you're probably getting bombarded with all sorts of Black Friday sales opportunities and flyers and just everything. So I just figured it was important that I let everyone know in advance. And also, just for those of you who may be new to my channel and maybe aren't in my Facebook group or haven't really been following me for any amount of time, like, what is my boot camp? What is it all about? And more importantly, why should you enroll? So, if you don't know, I'm Leanne. I'm a digital ministry coach, and I'm basically the teacher of all things blogging, YouTube, SEO for Christian content creators. One of the things I do specialize in is helping Christian bloggers get found in Google search results. And, many of us get started and we just want to share God's word through our blogging to reach people, encourage people. Unfortunately, you do it for a couple of years and you realize that nobody's actually reading your stuff. You're constantly having to promote it on social media, Facebook, anywhere. And you're just like spinning your wheels, like going in circles and never really accomplishing anything. Well, that's where I come in. Somehow God has gifted me the ability to understand all this online SEO stuff and to be able to explain it in a way that makes sense if you're not a techie. And spoiler alert, I am not a techie. I don't speak geek. I just somehow am able to understand all of this and help others understand it so that you can do what you do and actually start reaching people. So I have several different courses in my Teachable Academy. I have an SEO course. I have, just a couple of free ones, a few paid ones, and those are all individual standalone courses. My boot camp is actually an 8-week guided kind of group coaching, if you will. And we basically take everything from all of those other courses through the defining your target market, through understanding how to research and write blog posts. Really, what am I supposed to write about? We do all of that in a group setting. We have weekly Zoom calls, actual assignments every week of the class to help you along in the process. So basically, whatever area we're working on, I'm like, this is your assignment for this week. So you go work on it. And it's actually something on your site to provide back to me for feedback so that you can understand kind of the bigger picture of how all of this stuff works. And so the boot camp is amazing. I'm literally holding your hand for 8 weeks, basically. And there are some follow-on mentorship opportunities after that. But the boot camp itself is my signature training, and everyone who's been through it has that. Well, I should say everyone who's been through it and actually implemented what they learned have seen the result. We keep having Google updates and we just all kinds of changes. And spoiler alert again, it's always going to be like that. It's an ever changing environment. So you never actually reach the finish line and you're like, okay, I can just relax now. It just doesn't work that way. But I'm able to keep you updated, help you understand the dynamics of the changes within this world so that you can write content, publish it, and the people who God intended to hear it or read it are actually going to find it. Like that is the point. So I'm going to just kind of go through my course landing page to kind of highlight some different things. And then I'll come back and talk about my Black Friday sale and how that ties into all of this. Okay, one second, share screen here. Okay, so like I said, it's a step by step, like literally I'm holding your hand. Unlike other like SEO trainings where it's just like, here's the course. And, I have this Facebook group, and if I get around to answering questions, I will. But the Facebook group has like a million people in it. It's not like that at all. This is a dedicated Facebook group for students who are actively in the class during that session. And a lot of times students need additional help. So we do one-on-one Zooms outside of class time. Like I'm literally there holding your hand through that entire 8 weeks. We're going to learn how to, well, number one, figure out who is my target market? Who am I trying to reach? and what is it that I'm trying to reach them with. And then we're going to research how to find out what that person is actually going online looking for. It doesn't make any sense to write content that nobody's seeking, like go into that Google box, right? So we're going to dive into that. We're going to help you research a content plan and make sure it's a viable one. In other words, people are actually going to be looking for this information. And then we're going to go into all the technical stuff of setting up a WordPress site, how to actually write your blog post. But before that, we're going to set your site up, understand what plugins you need, what you don't need, how email marketing fits into all of it. And so basically, I'm also your WordPress like tech support for the entire 8 weeks as well. Okay, so here's just some things. Of course, these sound familiar to many of us. You just want to write, but you're intimidated by the tech stuff. I gotcha. You work so hard on blog posts, but they never get traffic. It's because you're writing about stuff no one's looking for, or you're writing it in the wrong format. You're overwhelmed and you hate social media and you just want to do online ministry full time, but you also just need to generate some income. So we will also take a full week to talk about how to generate income with a Christian blog, but in a way that doesn't sell your soul, right? Like in a non-salesy, non-tacky kind of way. And also in a way that honors God. Okay, so I'm going to take you down here to here are all the things we're going to cover in the training. Target audience, we talked about that. We're going to talk about page speed and core web vitals, which is an important grading factor of your website that Google uses to determine basically if your site is good or not. Google Analytics and Google Search Console, we're going to get all that set up. I'm going to break it down for you so you can understand how to use it and what are the important metrics to be looking at. We're going to learn how to write blog posts in the appropriate way that both serves our audience and satisfies those search crawlers to know what they're looking at. We're going to learn how to update older content. So those of you who've been blogging a while, how to properly and effectively update that older content. We're going to talk about video, having a YouTube channel, and how to integrate the two. We're going to talk about monetization strategies, a whole bunch of different monetization strategies. Site structure, blog design, all the technical stuff inside of WordPress that gets everyone kind of overwhelmed and freaked out. We're going to do content planning, a little bit about Pinterest, and a little bit about social media. Now, that is the course itself. So this is just a snapshot here of the course worth value. So through this 8-week course, we are actually going to be covering everything that's in all of my other courses combined. So during the course, you will get access to every single class in my Teachable Academy. Unfortunately, if you've already paid for a class, you won't get your money back for that. But if you have maybe just signed up for a free course or whatever, through the Black Friday sale, you're going to get access to all of that immediately. So what is that? So my SEO for Christian bloggers, that's the standalone course that goes over all the SEO stuff, understanding what it is, how to do content research, how to format and write your blog posts and everything in between. We're going to categories, tags, and just all of that stuff. You'll also get access to my Countdown to Conversions planner, which enables you to plan out your content for an entire year, like super easily. The affiliate marketing for Christian bloggers. So this is a course specifically about affiliate marketing. It does cover some additional monetization stuff, but primarily it's focused on how to have a high converting affiliate marketing strategy. Okay. My printables for Christian bloggers. This is all about creating digital products like printable journals, printable, just anything that you can use for both freebies, lead magnets, as well as for income. My online ministry project framework, that's one of my newer courses. And this one's for anyone who is really feels called to lead Bible study online. And so it encompasses blogging, of course, the written content that is found when people Google, plus the video form of having a dedicated Bible study YouTube channel, doing it through social media, so like Instagram and TikTok and all those things, and then the actual tangible principles that you can use as an income source. And so it's an all-encompassing framework, and it's actually a very powerful tool to provide more digital discipleship in the online space. So you will get access to that. Email subject lines and prompts is just a little mini course with some ideas for those working on their email marketing strategy. And then, of course, 8 weeks of ongoing tech support and personal mentoring from me, for kind of did some research on different coaching programs and how much time the coach dedicated to each student and all that. And so I kind of just rounded this. It was hard to kind of figure out because everyone's in a different, like how much they charge space, and it's actually quite expensive. So I rounded it up. So for 8 weeks of my life being totally at your beck and call, with reason, I estimated that to be about $2,000 worth, $2,000. So all in total, this is about a $2,500 value. Normally, my boot camp is $497. So when we're not at Black Friday, and so that gets you all of that, the 8 weeks. And by the way, once you do the boot camp, you're forever a student. So I do this class twice a year. And I'll be honest, it's a lot for the first timers. So you are always welcome to come back and join in all future classes, interact in the Facebook group, and you never have to pay again. You're like once a student, always a student. Anything that I make available to bootcamp students in the future, you will also get access to at no extra charge. So $497. So what's the Black Friday deal? So my next boot camp is set for the first week of February 2024. So I do it in February, and then I do it again kind of at the end of summer, beginning of fall, so twice a year. So since it's so long away, I am offering a 50% off pre-enrollment sale. So instead of $497, it'll be half that. Plus, you get full access to all of these courses listed right here immediately. Well, not immediately. Like if you sign up overnight while like I'm sleeping, you got to wait until the morning for me to wake up so I can go turn them on. But otherwise, you'll be able to work through these paid courses between now and February when class begins. And that way you'll kind of have a little more kind of bearing when class does get started. You won't like be literally starting from ground zero. So that is my Black Friday sale. Let me also show you some of the testimonies of past students. So this is Mindy Jones' blog. She creates content for Christian parents. And this was within a year after taking the class and getting her site kind of cleaned up and learning to write the proper content going forward. So she mentions that she's the biggest reason is the advice and knowledge when it comes to creating monetizing a site. I was finally accepted into She Media and reached my first goal of making $500 a month in passive income. So this was actually earlier in the year. So this was within a year of her actually going through the boot camp. So she got accepted into She Media, and now she's earning consistent monthly income through ad revenue as well as some other things. Tanash is actually in Zimbabwe. And so she has done amazing. She went through my course about 2 years ago. I think it's been about 2 years. And because she's in Africa, there are some issues that come up with earning income just because of some companies don't work with companies in certain countries. So there's just a lot of things that she's had to overcome. But as a result, she has is at this point when she wrote this review was getting about 30,000 monthly sessions to her site. So that's every month. This is completely organic, like people Googling stuff and landing on her site. And she also earned enough income to pay for her daughter to go to private school. This is Teresa. So hers is a Bible study type blog. It's all Bible study content. And so she has been going up in her traffic as well. She's also been monetizing. From her blog, then she stepped into Etsy, which we do talk about in the course too, a little bit about that. And through her Etsy, she's actually making consistent monthly income over there as well. Kara, same thing. At the time that she wrote this review, she was getting about 15,000 monthly views. Jessie, Pray with Confidence, some of you may know her. She is kind of the social media side of Christian creator, influencer stuff. She qualified for Mediavine she had started a brand new site and was able to qualify for Mediavine in less than, I think, 15 months. And so now she has that monthly recurring income as well. And she was pregnant while she did all this. Ashley's Undoubted Grace, she actually moderates, or one of the moderators for the Christian Women Bloggers United Facebook group. So she actually she has several websites. She has a couple of hobby sites plus her Christian blog, and all of those are doing really well. Julie is actually one of my newest additions here. She went through class two classes ago. So this time last year, she signed up for the Black Friday sale. She has actually launched a second website for support for church, as it's church ministry help. So it's all kinds of resources and stuff for ministry leaders in churches. She is a pastor's wife as well. And so she is already starting to see her content rank on page 1 of search results. Okay, so that's kind of all of it in a nutshell. Again, like I'm really horrible at promo. I don't like to be a salesy person in any way. My courses have always sold themselves through word of mouth. I have lots of people in my Facebook groups and who've just done some of my free courses and so forth. But I just really felt that like I needed to share it in video this time to really lay out what this whole boot camp is, what it's about. So why do you need it? Why is this important? Well, we can all agree that times are getting kind of crazy. You know, God has put a gift in each and every one of us. And so if you have ever felt a calling to be an online influencer in any manner, and I know that word sounds kind of weird to some people, but maybe called to blogging or called to YouTube, or you just feel called into this space and you're completely lost. So I have so many people that have been doing this for so many years and they're still in the same place. In other words, they're not gaining traffic. They're not growing as a ministry. They're literally just pumping out a bunch of content that nobody sees. And that's just crazy to me. So if God put this calling in your heart, of course, he's going to guide you to accomplishment of it. But along the way, as he's guiding you, he's not just going to make it happen. He's going to guide you to the resources because, God doesn't just want to do everything for us. He wants to empower us to do things, right? It kind of reminds me, Pastor tells a story all the time about, there was this flood and this guy was stuck on his roof and, next thing you know, a little boat comes by, a little canoe guy in a canoe from 2 houses down. He's like, hey, you want to ride, buddy? He's like, no. I've prayed. God's going to send me help. God's going to help me. Guy's like, okay. And he puts along. And then a little while later, another little motorboat comes by, or maybe it's one of those blow up inflatables that we use at the river. And it's from a few more houses down. Guy's like, hey, come on, buddy, get in. I'll give you a ride to dry land. He's like, no. I'm waiting on God. And God's like, dude, I just sent you 2 boats to help you get to shore. What are you waiting for? I'm not going to come pick you up and take you myself. I'm sending you those resources. So in that kind of context, consider me that resource. I am here to bridge the gap between your calling and the education part of it. I understand this stuff. I can teach you how to do it in a way that's going to be fruitful, because that's what we are called to do, is to be fruitful with our gifts and talents. And I'll tell you what's not fruitful. Writing and pumping out content and just overwhelming yourself every day for weeks and months and years, many of you, and you still don't have anything to show for it. In other words, your Google Analytics still shows a flat line. The only way you get traffic is doing blogger share threads or constantly, like every day, posting the same links over and over and over on Facebook. That is not fruitfulness. That is insanity. It's like doing the same thing over and over and over, expecting different results. And so in light of everything that's going on in the world today, the internet is where people are. And the people there are hurting. They are lost. They are in need of hope and encouragement. And, they need to learn about Jesus. And you, as a Christian blogger, are the key to making that happen. God has put this on your heart because there's somebody out there in the internet world, whether it's on a computer screen or one of these or a tablet, that they're there just searching for something. And then boom, your content shows up in their feed. And through that content, they are able to meet Jesus, learn about Jesus, finally have hope and encouragement. I can't tell you the stories, how many stories I get from some of my past students and the women that are in my mastermind group of emails or comments or Facebook messages that they receive from someone who found a blog post in a time that they were just at the bottom, like they were in just the most horrible, maybe at a hospital because a family member was in a horrible car wreck, right? And they're playing on their phone and this thing pops up, or comments on a blog post. There was one just this past week, or a couple of weeks ago, actually. The person was just in the worst time of their life, and they went to Google the meaning of something biblical. And her post came up, and that's what they found. And so they took the time to leave a comment saying how this is exactly what they needed to read in that moment. That is the power that we have as Christian bloggers, but there is no power if it doesn't reach the intended receiver, right? The recipient. And so this class is going to teach you how to bridge that gap. And so if you have any questions at all, please comment below, or of course, hop over to my Facebook group. If you're not in my Facebook group, please come over there. You can ask any and all things Christian blogging, email, social media, YouTube, Etsy shop, digital products, and everything in between. That is what I am called to do, is to teach this stuff so that you can do what you are called to do. All right, guys, that is all I have for this video. The sale will begin Monday. I will probably post a couple of videos that day, some shorts, but also on my social and, of course, in my Facebook group. So if you're not connected to me, please get connected to me today. And I hope to see you all in the next class. All right, everyone, God bless and have a great rest of your week. Bye-bye.